All right, I think we're just going to talk about looks like two more slides maybe. So we're looking at biodiversity losses. I think it's slide number 13 from the list there. And so we talk about biodiversity, the diversity of life, and the main reason that we're losing biodiversity, there's a couple of them actually, but probably one of the biggest has to do with habitat loss. I mean, here in Pittsburgh, we have all of these deer that are living in the suburbs, but it's because the suburbs used to be forest, you know. So habitat destruction and overexploitation, these are all things that are leading to biodiversity losses. Global warming is another major one as well. So all of these, you know, when we talk about global warming, habitat destruction, you know, what's causing this? We are. Humans are. And so we're here in this first chapter, we talk a little bit, we kind of preview stuff we're going to talk about. And in a later chapter, we'll be talking in detail about loss of biodiversity and how it is really humans that are having that effect. And if you look at historical geology, and so everyone knows dinosaurs lived in the Jurassic period, right? Well, I'm talking about those kinds of names. So if you look at where we are today in the Cenozoic period, what you see is some smaller gradations inside of that. There's one of them that we're living in today, and we've named it. We've already named the I think it's the epoch is what they call them. We've already named the epoch that we're living in, and what do we call it? We call it the Anthropocene. Anthro, that means human, and what it's referring to is the fact that humans are dominating this period of time in the world. And so as a result of that, at the end of periods, so again, talking in a general sense about historical geology, we have these major periods of time, the Paleozoic and the Mesozoic, and what happens at the end of them. Do you ever go out counting dinosaurs? Why not? It's because they're gone, dummy. It's because they're gone. It's because of a major extinction event that happened at the end of that period of time. Well, these major historical geology time frames, the endings are associated with mass extinctions. Guess what? We're undergoing a mass extinction right now, which is a result of human activity. So we're losing species at a rate that is similar to when the dinosaurs died off, very rapidly. So we have a picture with, again, fish. I seem to have a lot of fish pictures on here. But if you look at this carefully, what we see is of the different species of fish back in the 1950s, there were very few of them there were none that were in this area that were called crashed here in this corner here. And then above that, we see the pale color is overexploited. And this is in 2004. We've crashed a lot of these species. We've overexploited others. You see, we're up to about 80% there. And then we've fully exploited these. And then we have none that are on the way in as something new. Why, I found this wonderful new seafood. No, we're overexploiting everything, basically. So when we talk about species, threats to species, and loss of biodiversity, we can see that a half of all primates, monkeys and apes, are threatened. A half of all fish are threatened. 10% of all plant species, etc. So we're really, again, think about Wangara Maathai. We are threatening our life support system. So biodiversity loss is important, both from food as well as from discovering new drugs. If you say, where did new drugs come from? Well, there are people, you know what they do? They go out and they find primitive people. And they go to the shaman or whoever, and they say, if you get a stomach ache, how do you treat it? And they say, oh, that's simple. You could ask me something harder than that. And what they do, they say, well, we go over to this tree over here and we get the bark, and then we take the root from that. And then eye of newt, no, I'm being facetious there, but they go and they find species out there, and they say, this is how we treat stomach aches. And our, modern people who are talking to the primitive ones, they say, really? Well, let me take some samples of those and see what's in there. And sometimes we find really wonderful drugs in there. But guess what? If that tree's gone, or the roots over there are gone, it has a negative effect on us. Biodiversity is important to you and me. Pollution, population pollution. All right, so I'll tell you what, I'm gonna stop with that biodiversity slide there, and next time we'll come back and we'll talk about hope. So I'm gonna post this one today. Thursday we get another one of these where you get to listen to me being silly here in my office. So anyway, you guys have a good day, and I'll be seeing you on the small screen. All right. See you later.